Wait, so this isn't going to be a 10-game losing streak? The Flyers managed to hold on to a lead, a 2-goal lead, in fact. They didn't blow it. They managed to win the game, close out the game without blowing the lead at all? What world are we living in? Is there a blue moon out today? Is there a solar eclipse? What's going on here? How did the Flyers manage to win that? Because usually they blow these games within, this season and, recent history. But, they managed to do it. It's not going to be a 10-game losing streak like I thought it was going to be just because, that's how this season was. But hey, they managed to pull it off. A 2-1 victory over the Washington Capitals. They got a victory on this homestand. Claude Giroux, Cam Atkinson getting on the score sheet. Hart was magnificent today. And they managed to shut down the Capitals. Shut down Alex Ovechkin. Credit where credit is due, I guess. And yeah, over the course of the season, you're still going to get your various wins. Who knows how many more wins they're going to get, but still, I think this team is still, going to find ways to win games eventually. I'm not saying they're going to go on, any streaks or anything like that, but you're maybe going to get maybe one win in the next couple of games, one win in so many of your next games or something like that. They're not going to go streaking or anything like that, but still, hey, they managed to get the win. And I guess we can be happy about that for the time being. So before we get into everything here, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And if you are new to the channel, the most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. So if you're looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, this is the place to be at, depending on the outcome. Great or miserable, depending on that outcome. And also, if you are a current viewer of the channel, I am grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. Also, if you're looking for any tickets to upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTPSPORTS down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So that could be tickets to a Flyers game. Doesn't have to be a Flyers game. No, if you don't want to see that slop on the ice, it could be any other NHL game. Sixers game, James Harden, Joel Embiid. You can't deny that. Get some NBA tickets there. NFL, when that comes back. You got MLB whenever the hell that decides to come back. Definitely can't go wrong with $20 in your pocket. Use that for, soda. Use that for food items at the arena. It's a free $20 in your pocket. You can't deny that. So use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek today. So the Flyers get a 2-1 win over the Washington Capitals. And hey, I thought they played a pretty decent game. It wasn't the best game in the world. The first period, though, was actually a really good period by the Flyers. I would say they dominated on the 5-on-5 standpoint, definitely. As, they get the very early goal in this game, 11 seconds in, might I add. Claude Giroux from Atkinson and Joel Farabee, who also made a return to the lineup. Same thing with Derek Brassard, so it's nice to see Joel Farabee get into the lineup, but I would assume this entire thing with Derek Brassard is, showcase that he has some trade value, that he can still play games, playing that one game without getting injured the next. So yeah, hopefully that's the case, and hopefully he does have some trade value going into this year's trade deadline, but you never know. So hey, Claude Giroux gets on the score sheet, and I think he's now 3 points away from getting to 900 for his career, and he's also 1 goal away from passing Eric Lindros for all-time on the Flyers list. I think he tied him today. So he is 1 goal away from taking that sole spot past Eric Lindros. I think that's 9th or 8th place on the Flyers all-time list. So hey, he's close to getting 900 points, and he's about to pass Eric Lindros as well. So hey, Claude Giroux continuing to break in some Flyers records here before, the inevitable trade deadline and before his 1,000th game in a Flyers uniform. So hey, great to see Claude Giroux get on the score sheet. Flyers, they take some penalties during this period. There was a fight between Zach McEwen and Tom Wilson as well. It looked like it was in the Capital zone, and from that standpoint, it looked like Wilson, went after McEwen. McEwen didn't like the hit, so he went after him there. They started a fight a little bit. McEwen gets the extra penalty for roughing. I'm very surprised it wasn't an instigation to where he also got a 10-minute misconduct. I'm very surprised it wasn't that standpoint. Only got the 2 minutes for roughing and the 5-minute major for fighting. So the Caps go to the power play, but the Flyers, I would say for the most part, they did shut down the Caps' power play today, even though the Caps do eventually score a power play goal, but that's in the standpoint where you're just constantly giving them power plays. They're eventually going to score on one of them just because of all the weapons that they do have on that power play. TJ Oshie, Alex Ovechkin, Karlsson, Backstrom, they have so many weapons on that power play. The majority of the time, you're going to give them a lot. They're eventually going to score on at least one, and thankful today, it was just one of those power plays for the Capitals. And the Flyers, on one of those ensuing penalty kills, this was after the Zach McEwen fight, Cam Atkinson, they're breaking up the ice. He comes out of the box. Got Scott Lawton along with him. And you're going to get a 3-on-1 here. But the pass from Lawton to Atkinson was broken up, but the puck kept bouncing towards the goal. And Atkinson manages to get a stick on the puck, and he puts it over Samsonov off his shoulder and under the post into the net. And becomes a 2-0 Flyers lead going into the intermission. We're like, whoa. The Flyers have a multi-goal lead going into the intermission. Where the hell have we seen this? Never. That is the question. That's never, or the answer actually. Never. We have never seen that before this season. Well, we probably have, but it's been a very long time, if you know what I mean. I think I saw a stat today from Jordan Hall saying that this is the Flyers' first multi-goal lead going into an intermission since December. So yeah, it's been over 2 months. It's been a very long time since the Flyers, led with a multi-goal lead at intermission. So, hey, enjoy it while it lasts. Second period, the Flyers, once again, they start to take some penalties. Isaac Ratcliffe, who was originally taken down in the Flyers' end, that wasn't called. He decides to go after one of the Capitals players who hit him, and he eventually takes the penalty for tripping, or interference, I believe it was, and the Caps do go to the power play, and they don't take that long to set up. As seconds into that power play, it's TJ Oshie from his office in the slot, putting it past Carter Hart to make it a 2-1 game. So, this is basically the score for the rest of the game. The Flyers do get some chances the other way. They had one great shift from the Travis Konechny line, where I believe it was Rasmus Ristolainen, and they got absolutely robbed by Samsonov, so that prevented it from making a 3-1 lead there. And the Flyers, they do get a 5-on-3 a little towards the end way of this period, and of course they don't score in it because the Flyers' power play is goddamn awful. I'm just like, come on, boy. Like, they did have some chances. There was a shot from Keith Yandel from the point that went off the backboards, and Cam Atkinson just missed it. And if he got to that puck, it would have been a wide-open net for him. But still, the Flyers' power play sucks. And you go into the third period, I think this is more of a, benefited towards the Capitals. The Flyers were, holding back defensively, trying to keep them out of the zone, trying to keep them to the outside. The Flyers really didn't get a shot in this period, I think, until halfway. And that one shot was just a clearing attempt down the ice that just happened to go in on Samsonov. So, yeah, it was really just one of those games where you get the two-goal lead. They get one back, and then you're basically just playing defensively the rest of the game. You get some chances here and there, but nothing really, I would say, dangerous. There were some decent chances going along there, but really nothing able to get into the score sheet, and Samsonov making some nice saves there. So the Flyers win this game by a score of 2-1, and that's how it ends in regulation. Sometimes it does feel weird when they win in regulation because we just don't see that much this year. And it's like, where's the overtime win? Surprisingly, it's a regulation win. 1-goal regulation win. You don't see that often this year. So you get your 3 stars of the game. Cam Atkinson, first star. Claude Giroux, second star. And TJ Oshie, third star for the Capitals. Shots on goal in this game, 28-22 in favor of Washington. That definitely showcases how much they pushed later in the game. Face-off percentage went in the Flyers' direction mightily, 60.3%. The Flyers go 0 for 2 on the power play. No surprise there. And the Caps go 1 for 3 on their power play chances. A very physical game. 30 hits to 21 in favor of Washington. Both teams block a lot of shots, 19-16. And shots on goal per period. In the first period, the Flyers, like I said, that was a really better period for the Flyers. Basically, the rest of the game, they really weren't able to provide nothing. So in the first period, 14-9 in favor of the Flyers. In the second period, it was 11-4 in favor of Washington. And the third period was 8-4 in favor of Washington. So, you get a 2-1 win in regulation against the Capitals, and hey, you're not going to go on a 10-game losing streak, so that's the benefit in all of this. We don't have to experience another 10-game losing streak for the foreseeable future because you never know with this Flyers team this season if that's ever going to happen again, because you never know, it might. With this Flyers team, you never know. You definitely never know. So looking at the Flyers' record right now, within the Metropolitan Division, they have played 52 games so far. They are 16-26-10 with 42 points. They are a point above the New Jersey Devils, who are in last place in the Metropolitan Division with 41 points. And looking at the entire National Hockey League, where the Flyers stand so far, they are currently the 6th worst team in the NHL. With those 42 points, a point ahead of the Devils, 2 points ahead of the Buffalo Sabres. They're 5 points ahead of the Seattle Kraken, and then you get Arizona and Montreal as the bottom feeders in the league. So there you go. Flyers are the 6th worst team so far. They get a regulation win today. It was a decent game. It definitely wasn't their best, but they still managed to find a way, to get a win on the to get a win in the win column, I guess you can say. Again, you never know. It really wasn't a game that felt. I don't want to say if it was an exciting game. It was still a good game by the team. They found a way to win. They got the early goals. They found a way that Carter Hart was good. So I guess at the end of the day, that's basically more you can ask from this team. So what are you gonna do? So you got the long rest of the season ahead of us until the trade deadline. Looking at the upcoming Flyers schedule, you got this game against the Capitals that they just won, and you got 4 more games left on this homestand starting in March. On Tuesday against the Edmonton Oilers, Thursday against the Minnesota Wild, the next Saturday against the Chicago Blackhawks, and then that following Tuesday to wrap up the homestand against the Vegas Golden Knights. And then looking at the rest of March, you got 2 road games against Florida and Carolina on a Thursday and a Saturday. Then you're back at home on that following Sunday after Carolina against Montreal. You get 3 days off there until March 17th, which would be scheduled to be Claude Giroux's 1,000th game in the National Hockey League against the Nashville Predators. That is going to be a home game. And then you have a following back-to-back in Ottawa the following night, and then you have a day off on a Saturday. You come back on the 20th at home against the New York Islanders. That is the game before the trade deadline. Your trade deadline is on Monday the 21st at 3 p.m., so hopefully there's going to be a lot of crap going on down there. This is going to be a very busy month for this team in terms of all the rumors and the trade talks. So we're basically getting into this month of March, and there's 3 weeks away basically until the trade deadline. So we're not that far away, folks. It's going to come up like it's nothing. It's going to be very, very fast. So you got a road trip, a 5-game road trip after the trade deadline. You got Detroit, St. Louis, Colorado, Nashville, Minnesota. So you're not going to be seeing a lot of home games for a while at the end of March after the trade deadline. Then you go into your April games, and that's where you basically wrap up the season there. So you get a win in the win column. It's more than you can ask. I'm not really expecting anything much from this. Just, hey, the boys got to win, and that's all that matters at this point. Who knows how many more wins we're going to experience the rest of this season until the trade deadline, because you never really know. It's going to get way worse after the trade deadline when a lot of these guys are gone. Oh, boy. It's going to be weird to see. It definitely is going to be. So I want to hear your thoughts on this game, everyone. What are your thoughts on Claude Giroux, Carter Hart, Cam Atkinson, all that stuff, and just getting closer to the trade deadline, all your thoughts on that. So don't forget to leave those thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. Don't forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I'm a part of. Their links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Florida Pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that good stuff is down in the description below. Don't forget to check those out. And also, like I said at the beginning of the video, the most important thing you can do is hit that sub button. And also use the code TTPSPORTS down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. And I will see you next time.